Days of the Dead, first one.
What did your mom say?
Hey, why are you talking during my panel, yo? Rude. I'm sounding a little loud. Am I loud to you?
We're good.
Okay, good. All right, well, guys, please make so much noise for our first panel of the evening, the first one of the convention. Jessica and Michael, Grimm live. Come on, guys. It's an empty room. More. Okay. Welcome. Hey. There you go.
I'm in the middle. Oh, no. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Greetings and salutations. Hello. We almost did it. This is loud.
It's not loud to me.
Is this really loud? We almost didn't make this.
What, really?
Yeah, we were in line for Clive Barker. We got to do one-on-one time with him and got some original art. That's why nobody's here.
Everybody was a Clive Barker, which I don't blame them.
But thank you all for joining us. We even got a member of the Undead over there.
Yes, it's true though. I haven't seen a line like that since Robert did that. So it's pretty epic. I hope I can get in for it.
We were first in line.
Speaking of first, why are we always first to do these Q&As?
I have no say or control over that.
I offered to move it to the bathroom.
It's because we're fancy. So fancy.
You know, it's a great way to kick off a con. With you two and my mic. So first of all, we were just listening to your theme song.
That's what that was?
Yeah. I would love to know how you guys found that, chose that, got the authorization to use that.
So years ago, I went to a concert in Nashville, Tennessee called Ink and Iron. And I went there because there was this one band called Batmobile. And I really wanted to meet them. I wanted to see them. They're from overseas. It was one of the first times here in the States. And I walked up to them. And if you go back far enough on our channel, you'll find a Grimm interview with him. And I think in that actual interview, I tell him, I'm thinking about starting this YouTube channel, and I'd really love to use this song. And he's like, yeah, go ahead and do that. So I got verbal permission on camera. And I still talk to him every now and then. I'm like, are you still cool with me using this? So, yeah.
And he still says, yeah.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Oh, that's great. Now, it has been a very long time since I've seen you guys. It was in LA in August. Time flies by, but you have had so many adventures since then. Can we start by talking about your adventures abroad? And I want to know all about Suspiria. Because you know
That's a really good start.
That was my first horror film ever. Was Suspiria. That was my gateway horror, so it was very special, and I love that.
Well, first, before she gets into it, we'll let you take it.
Why am I getting into it?
I don't know, because I talk a lot. But we are going back to Europe on May 1st. So we're going to be in Europe again May 1st through June 6th. Mainly England, Wales, and Scotland. And we're actually not doing many filming locations. It's going to be all true crime and like weird, spooky stuff.
Folklore.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell everybody what you thought of Europe.
It's very magical, and it's if you're one of those people who thought that Europe was going to be very fantasy, fairy feeling, then you're right. That feels exactly like that. I don't know if I sound broken up this way. The mic, I think you're a little choppy.
Are we doing okay on sound up back there? Yep. So we sound good.
It's all in our heads.
I think it is all in our head. I don't know
It
which
might
one
be
came out first.
close to the speaker, and so we're hearing different.
Yeah. Did Suspiria come out first, or did Phantom of the Paradise?
Well, what YouTube channel are you watching? We didn't do Phantom of the Paradise.
No, I know, but I think I saw Phantom of the Paradise first.
Okay.
And so by the time I saw Suspiria, I was like, oh, that's the girl from Phantom of the Paradise. So I naturally thought it was going to be cool because I really love that movie and I would sing along with her. And then it was just like, this is not like Phantom of the Paradise at all. It's better.
And how did you track those locations down?
It's called a microphone.
What is this thing? I don't understand how to use it.
So how do we track?
Yeah, like especially those months overseas where you have limited time, you have to like just don't want to spend the whole trip researching and trying to find places. Like how do you find these places?
I'm constantly doing research. Constantly. So our trip in May, even just today, I completely rewrote the schedule. So it's always changing. And when you get over there, sometimes the weather is just so crazy and you have to just kind of reconfigure everything. But I'm always doing research and I like trying to find the very well hidden stuff. You know, like everybody, when you go to London, you hear the first thing is like, I want to go to the Tower. I want to go to the dungeons. Well, instead of doing that, we found a place behind it where they used to execute pirates down by the water. So we're going to go and talk about the way that the English used to execute pirates and go down to where it happened. It's kind of cool.
That is so cool.
Right? It's different.
Yes.
I think that is part of the inspiration for some of the scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean when they start singing. I think it's the third movie, might be the fourth movie. It's the gallows. But in this instance in England, when the surf comes in, everybody would drown instead of being. But they're in the cages. It's very. What is name of Rose? But can I say fascinating? Is that a bad thing to say?
Fascinating, of course. Yeah.
The cool thing about Suspiria, though, is the front of the building for the ballet studio is the real location they use, or they use the inspiration, but it's actually a set.
They took that facade and then they built it on the soundstage. Yeah.
That was amazing, because I've always dreamed of going there. It's food. Can we have these lowered just a little bit? Just a little bit, thank you. Yeah, I've always dreamed of going to Germany and seeing those red cars. Everything, yes. Okay, another one you did while you were over there, of course, was Rocky Horror. But first, before I segue into that, have you seen Shock Treatment? Because our lead in Suspiria is in Shock Treatment.
No, I still haven't seen it.
She has not, but I sing it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always singing that musical.
It's one of those movies that I swear to God I've seen it because I'm so familiar with everything else and I've seen segments or I've heard this song because he sings it all the time and I actually have not seen it. Funny enough, true story, I didn't watch Jaws from beginning to end until we were married. So within the last 7 years, I would say about 5 years ago was the first time I saw Jaws from beginning to end because I'd seen so many snippets of it on social media or you're constantly hearing about Jaws and you're seeing segments play all the time. I was like, oh, you know, obviously I've seen that movie, it's been out since the 70s. Of course I've had to have seen it. Turns out no. I just thought I had seen it because it's such an iconic movie, but I figured at least as a kid I would have seen it. No.
Wow.
She got it confused with Little Nemo.
So you have to watch Shock Treatment now.
Yes, I do want to watch Shock Treatment. And it's on my list of many, many things to watch that I haven't seen yet.
We gotta do it before you go over there again. Just because. So tell me about Rocky Horror those locations. That's my favorite musical ever.
We really debated making that episode a musical. Like, we were like considering like singing this episode. But I don't sing. So that was not gonna happen. But we knew that it was there. And like I said, we did so much research that going into it and knew that I knew everything was there. But at the same time, I didn't realize how much was there. You know, like there's a scene in the movie, whenever, well, not necessarily outside the window, but there's a scene in the movie whenever Frankenfurter's chasing Janet around the second floor gallery. And we're walking through it, and she points out the buttons for the elevator. It's like it's all still there. It's changed. It's all still there. I think that's the coolest part of it.
That is so neat. One last one before I turn it over to see if we have audience questions. The worst witch. That one was so great. I just watched that movie like 3 years ago, and I love it just as much as I did when I was 5. So that was really special to see as well. Tell us about that one.
So we know that we wanted to go there and run around, be a monk, just like they were in the movie. And as we were planning our trip to Europe, we found out that they do this wicked tea time thing where the witch is supposed to come out.
Not that one.
The worst
Oh,
witch.
the worst witch. Oh, we did do it. So that was Witches, which is by Jim Henson. Worst witch. Oh, that almost didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, so it used to be I don't know the proper word, but it was a school for boys that sang choir all through like 40s, 50s, and 60s and stuff. But the day that we went there, we happened to be there when they were doing a reunion for all these men that were in their 80s and 90s who had been there as little boys, who had lived there, stayed there, been in the Abbey, and had been housed where they had filmed this. And we had no idea where they were either, because otherwise it is shut down for the rest of the year. There is no access. You are not granted ever public access. And we got to meet the caretaker and explain to her what we do, and trying to get the word about the location because it is falling into ruin. She said, all I can do is send it up to the higher ups who actually take care of their property, and fingers crossed they'll let you in. And they did, which I can't believe happened.
How long did it take you to get the okay from them?
About a month and a half. Like, we were just about ready to fly home to back to the States, and we got the email that said, you can come up and do it. So we had to like rearrange everything again. You know?
Worth it.
Yeah, it was a blast.
That's
So amazing. Oh my God. Yeah. As soon as you released that, I was like, I watched it immediately.
I was so nerding out. That was great.
Okay, do we have any audience questions? Yes? Oh,
Favorite Universal Monster location that you guys visited?
Favorite Universal Monster location we have ever visited? We love Universal Monsters.
Ooh.
We did 3, and there's a 4th one coming. So we did Frankenstein. We did The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and we did Dracula. And when we get back to LA, now that it's cooler and we can go out to Death Valley, we're going to be doing the Mummy. So that's a friend of ours has went out and done a video on it already, but not to the extent we found more.
The whole world's gonna know now.
Nobody cares about us. You guys do, thank you. Thank you. What's this guy?
That.
He's smiling at you a little strangely.
He's creeping you out a little bit. So this was a gift from my friend Elena. She's not in here yet. Have you seen Poltergeist 2?
Never heard of it.
It's Reverend Henry Kane.
Okay.
He's a creepy little.
Now that I know that it looks
Look,
just like
his hat
Comes off and he has hair. Now he looks like the Muppet.
He looks like Bill.
Yes. So, he's my co-pilot today. I'm hosting
a poltergeist panel later, so he's going to be my co-host.
Very cool.
Get up there.
Good question.
This young lady had one.
What was your favorite to least favorite, what's it called? I forgot. A haunted house that you went to.
Good. That's a tough one. So, least favorite to favorite, right?
Yeah, so what's your favorite and then your least favorite?
The favorite one, we just put out a video called the scariest place the scariest scariest Halloween haunted attraction we've ever been to. And it's a place called Eloise Asylum. It's in Detroit, and it's terrifying.
It is terrifying, but there's one that we don't have out yet that is local. That will blow your mind.
Yeah.
The 13th floor.
But that's not the least favorite one.
No, it's not the least favorite at all. I mean, it's amazing, and it is absolutely worth going to. I can't wait for the video to come out because I had a great time there. Eloise is amazing, but it's up in Detroit.
Detroit.
But 13th floor is like right down the street, and it is like,
Oh, here.
yeah,
Like 2 blocks away.
it's gorgeous. Did I scream? I did. I screamed a couple of times there, I think, yeah.
You passed out. She did not.
You'll love it. You will absolutely love it.
Aw. Yeah.
How long did you actually get to spend at Tom Savini's house, and what was the coolest thing you saw there?
We were kind of there for the day. Again, unplanned. We didn't expect that. He just welcomed us into his home, and you just kind of went, okay, yes, sir. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so this has nothing at all to do with his collection of what I thought was the coolest thing in Tom Savini's house, besides Tom Savini himself. He has some cats, which I think we did talk about in that video, that he raised as itty bitty babies. And I had to go and get something from the car. I think it ended up in the video, I can't recall. When I came back into the house, the first thing he says is, stick your head next to the cat's face. It wants to smell your hair. And I was like, what? Okay. And it did. It smelled my hair. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I kind of wanted to see those cats, but don't steal something to be this cat.
I have 2 favorite things from that video.
I know your favorite.
There you go.
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Okay, go.
Just go. The first one you probably did.
Guys.
We're crazy.
I know. It
So
hasn't been
Marriage, am I right?
the video's like an hour long. And I know some people don't watch it to the very end, and that's perfectly fine.
I don't.
Right? I don't even watch our own videos. They're too weird. But if you watch to the very end, when we're in the basement, I think I asked Tom, I'm like, what's in the bins underneath, right? And like they're filled with all these tapes of every movie that Tom Savini has ever worked on. And it's just like behind the scenes, tape 1 through 9 of Day of the Dead and From Dusk Till Dawn, like all these things just behind the scenes stuff. And I'm like, wow. And then, we should ask him about this, we still talk to him. He was in the process or wanting to transfer them over digitally. And I think, how do I say this? I think it was like kind of like his idea that someday he could pass it down to his kids and his grandkids, and it's like a gold mine. That's what it felt like. And then at the same exact time, the other favorite part of mine was we were in his living room, and Tom was telling us about his dad. There's a picture of his dad on the wall. And for some reason, above everything, from the school to the house, just that one moment of him talking about his dad hits me more than anything else. that was cool.
There's just a million things in his house that you kind of start debating if you could let it out under your sweater. You know, this is like massive pieces. There's no way to, you know, I'm sure to miss it. But, I mean, you guys know me. My favorite has to be his legend bust of Tim Curry, because that is just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh, or the entirety of his garage, where he did all his work, of course. Yeah.
All the way back there. Stop it. You're picking on me today. I'm just gonna do this
Okay.
place.
There's a story behind it. There's a reason why I keep untying your shoes.
It's a weird shoelace compulsion you
No,
have?
because I look like good guy's shoes, and he never ties his shoes.
Fine.
And one of the last times we were here, we were talking with you privately. That's one of your favorite movies, and you got to go and do all the locations.
Yes. That's true.
We maybe did or didn't.
There's a-
However, this is a very dangerous game. I am very clumsy.
Here in Chicago, we just finished doing a big child play video.
Like this trip?
Yeah,
A new one?
What?
yeah.
What?
We filmed like 4 new videos or 5 new videos here in Chicago before this. We've been here for a while.
I wanted to ask you, were you able to go into the apartment building and see the lift?
I
The
have
stairs?
never done that.
No, yeah, they have security. We tried to.
Oh
But you can see it from the door, though. They're like, yeah, you can stand on the other side of the glass.
We need to we need to make friends with someone in the building.
I tried. And they're like, yeah, no, you can't go inside, but feel free to look through.
Well, what if you stop? What if you like stood outside while people were going in? It's just, "Guys, I'm Grimm, blah blah blah. I just really want to go inside this building. Can you get me past this door?"
We tried that.
You did.
We did, and we even did this thing where like, oh no, my wife is dying. She needs to
Nuh-uh.
go. Yeah, like we played it. They called the cops.
They called the cops.
No, I'm lying. Good question. Very good question.
Well, I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be so exciting.
Which one?
I was thinking of you.
Child play? Never heard of it.
I know.
I was thinking about you when we were doing those scenes. I was like, oh, I know she's been here in her favorite movie. We're gonna see her soon.
I'm so excited. Yeah, that's exciting.
Because you did some of them already, right? Or no? No, you didn't. I'm losing my damn mind.
I know, we've been everywhere else.
Whenever somebody comes into town, I bring them around town. Who's Florida? I take them to Carson's, because they used to work 2 blocks away. And then I'll take them to Bob Eshman Garrett and CNA building. I used to work at that Starbucks underneath it, right? And I'm like, and here's where they did this, and here's where they did that. And they're like, okay.
Is everybody in this room from Chicago? Like, has any of you guys, have you been to the Gothic Target downtown?
It's so pretty.
It's the most gorgeous thing ever.
Stayed in Madison, down in Chicago.
When you see this thing, look it up when you leave here or wait to our video. It's the most beautiful Target you've ever seen in your life, and it's here in Chicago.
I'm so glad they didn't tear that building down. When I moved here, Carson City was closed for a while, and it was graffitied up, and things were broken and stuff, like windows. And they restored it. I mean, I wish they would have turned it into something other than a Target, but I'm really happy they restored it instead of just letting it just fall apart even farther, because it was like, oh, this is it. It's so sad.
Mostly it's just the parking. The parking's really scary. So we have to say in our video that we had to pay for parking, and we can give you a 30-second segment, and it costs $30.
Downtown
It's a
Chicago.
$30 shot.
Guys, come with me. I'll take you on the trip. It's $2.
Never heard of it with a train.
It's an amazing thing that you can take all over the city, and it costs $2 instead of $30. And you can pretend you're on the midnight meat train.
It's so
cold.
It was started
You
snowing. that day.
Southerners.
It was snowing that day.
When?
About a week ago?
Hello.
Yeah. It was just that one day that it snowed here.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I love snow. But we got snow today too. I woke up and my roommate was doing her makeup in front of the window. And I'm like, good morning. And she's like, it's snowing. She's from the south. And I'm like, where? Right? And she goes, right there. And I'm like, where? She's like, right there. Don't you see it? That's like barely a flurry. You on crack. And I'm like, bless your heart. I give her one of those. You Southerners. Okay. Anyone else? Not yet. All right. Can we talk about? Oh, yes.
It's not a question, but I really like your dress and your hair.
She always looks fantastic, doesn't she?
So a little something about Jessica. She loves these elaborate dresses. She has quite a collection at the house.
What?
And she loves coming to these conventions because it gives her an opportunity to just kind of dress up and just be like Mortician. And so
You
I know
never
you
grow
just
out
made
of
her
it.
day.
You never grow out of when I'm playing dress up. This is my version of dress up.
And no snapping on my face. Anyone else? No? All right, let's talk about Hank Williams' grave.
Okay.
That was so cool.
Hank. So, okay. Ooh, it's loud. We have entertained the idea of doing a podcast because there's so many things that happen when the camera's not rolling that we don't show you guys. And it's like the strangest thing, right? So we drove from California to Montgomery, Alabama. And we drove all this way. We're so excited to do a Hank Williams video. And we get there, and there was this couple in this truck parked right next to there, like the most country-loving people you could ever imagine. And they were like doing illegal stuff. So we sat there for like 2 hours in the sun waiting for them to move, and we're like, how do we get them to move? And because we don't want, yeah, it was so
Because
bizarre.
they were sitting with both of the doors open in the truck, like a pickup truck, doing illegal drugs. And I don't mean smoking a little pot. They were doing hard drugs. And they were right in front of the grave. So even if we wanted to just get out and go look, you were looking directly at the cab of their car. And it's like, I don't want to see that.
Like a big camera rig. But it was,
Surprise!
yeah, but it was so strange because it was like, I don't want to be like stereotypical or whatever, but like it really felt like we were like in the deep like South, and which was kind of cool, but at the same time it was a little like unnerving. But eventually they left, and then we shot that film. But it was there, and it was also in West Virginia. So like that particular video was kind of shot all over the place. And it took a lot. It took a lot because it started pouring down rain and went there. But hey, I'm sorry, I rambled. What was your question?
Well, that story was better than anything else you could have answered.
You're welcome.
Finding Hank Williams' grave and filming about that. Why did you choose Hank?
Big fans.
Yeah.
Always big fans. I think not more than me actually, but it was when we drove from there to Savannah, Georgia, because we're also working on a big Casey video right now. And the video that we're doing actually is more than just here in Chicago. Like everybody thinks John Wayne Gacy, Bubba the Clown, Chicago. But our video takes you to places that you really wouldn't think. So it's going to be rather interesting. And it took us to Savannah, Georgia. And yeah.
Wow.
But hey,
That's where we were from Maui. You talked about Eloise Asylum, and you said that was. Did you say that was the scariest one?
terrifying.
Why?
It was so realistic.
Yeah.
There was not
I
a
love
single
that.
scare actor in there. And it was just the music and the light and the fog and just everything was so realistic.
Was it? I'm pretty ignorant on this. I know I've read about it, but I don't remember. It's been a while. Is that a real asylum? Yes. So it still had that real asylum feel.
I said it in the video, but you honestly couldn't tell what was real and what they made. It was that good.
All right. How about the murder of Bill?
Phil Hartman.
Bill Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Yes.
I said one out.
That's right, you did.
I mean, Bill Hartman, the house is currently owned by somebody who does not like when people come around and talk about the house. So whenever we have locations like that where it might be a little insensitive to the current house owners, less is better. You don't need the both of us to stand outside and go, that's where it happened. You know, so if he can just go by himself, go softly talk and do his thing, I think is probably less intrusive than having us both out there, you know, and I think I have to be sick that day, so. Or we just had a big shirt order in, I think, it's either one of them or both, yeah.
Speaking of intrusive, and being respectful, I just recently watched your Eagle or video again last month. It just popped up into my algorithm. I've already seen it, but I was like, this is a good one. I'll watch this one again. I love that video. You're so respectful to the community.
That's the one where the actual location, when we talk about the runner that came up. Yeah. We try to be respectful to the community. We try to be respectful to everything that happened. And, I mean, it's history, whether you like it or not. It's history.
You're like, it feels weird to say this is my favorite crime scene photo.
Yeah. And some people, I mean, I get it, they understand, and I respect that. It's just, it's so weird whenever somebody reacts to you negatively, but then again, they don't know why we're there. Like whenever we did, I did it by myself, I did the Night Stalker video. And it didn't occur to me, but there was one point right after I go to the Ramirez mini market. I go up into the neighborhood, I'm standing there and I'm filming, I'm all dressed in black. I got a camera and I'm talking about a serial killer. And all these families come out and they're all standing on their front porch looking at me like it's like something from Village of the Damned. And I'm like, whoa, it was creepy. And one person actually came out and they talked to me. This was all off camera and they said, what are you doing? I told them and they're like, oh, okay. And then they went inside.
It's like, it's okay, guys, just go in there.
I think they called everybody because at the same time, everybody went back inside. And I went, okay, I'm done. I'm gone. So, you always have to be aware of your situations around you, whether it's something good or something bad. And that one, it's always sensitive crime scenes. You know, especially whenever it affects a community in such a way.
And we've got some new audience members. Does anyone have any questions? No, not yet. Are you sure? Okay. It's my show now. So we're at a horror con. What's your favorite horror film? Speak up, Michael.
I'm actually a big fan of the movie It Follows.
Okay.
I think about that one a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a place for blood, guts, and gore, and a whole bunch more. But I like, right? I just like
Dark Dr. Seuss up here.
right? I like atmospheric kind of movies. And It Follows is one of those things where it's like, no matter, as it happens, it just gets more dreadful. It's relentless, but it's not violent.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. It Follows is good.
Because of It Follows, it makes me think of a question I've seen a lot as sort of a meme of if you were given, let's say, $1 million, would you accept $1 million? But you would have to make sure this nail could never touch you, because if it does, then it kills you. So it's this whole thing of like, it's a small, tiny, slow-moving animal. It cannot die. But eventually, one day, you'll never know how close it is to you, no matter where you go, how far you run, how long you run. That eventually, one day, that little snail is going to catch up to you, right? Like, is that worth the $2 million that we pay you today, kind of thing? And because of it, follows, I think of that all the time. Like, how can I get away from this little snail? It's like, could I just salt the outside of my house? Like, does that work? Like, I need to know the rules before I accept this money. So, if you're ever wondering, like, just playing in my head, how I'm going to survive a snail.
My wife is afraid of snails.
I'm not,
But now she is.
It's like an immortal being who's gonna chase you for the rest of your life, and it can get into your house, it can follow you, and it's gonna take its time, but eventually, and you don't know where it's at, it's always gonna know where you are, and its goal is to touch you to take away the power you've been given of kind of immortality, I suppose.
E? It's true. I was just on my friend's podcast recently, and they played a game like would you rather, and I always had a contingency. Would you rather have dinner with Leatherface or with Hannibal Lecter, like at their house? And I said,
Night dinner.
well, that was one of the things I asked, but I also asked, what are they serving? I need to know. And then I chose Leatherface because I really like ribs. But then I'm like, no, wait, I like air conditioning more, and Hannibal Lecter is probably more likely to have air conditioning. So
This would be like a fancy 5-star meal.
right.
It's humans, but it's a fancy 5-star meal.
They both could be human though.
True. But it's a fancy 5-star. Yeah, it's like Michelin versus barbecue, right?
Yes.
You know?
I'm not a fancy broad. I really like barbecue.
It's really like barbecue. We have a story. I think we may have talked to you about this the last time we were here, that we were at a crematorium. We didn't know it was a crematorium, but we were there to visit one of the graves, the internments. And we were like, wow, it really smells like barbecue in this place. I'm getting hungry.
It was during the Aaliyah video.
Yeah, that's right. And we happened to stop by a display of cards because we're wanting to upgrade his mother's urn. And there's this guy just looking a little panicked, nonchalantly leaning against the door where the smell is the heaviest. And I was like, hey, hi, how's it going? I'm just looking at Earth here. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you work at that. Oh, the crematorium, well, that's cool. He's like, yeah, somebody set the weight wrong on the burner, and so we're just having to let it burn and smoke out. And I didn't think anything about that, and I was like, oh, that sucks, yeah, hard day at work. And I was like, man, it smells really good. And I was like, oh, I'm smelling people. It smells so good. Apparently people really smell like pork ribs.
Okay, it smelled so good that it eventually made you sick. It was,
Yeah.
oh,
Once you knew what it was, the psychological part of it kind of kicked in, and you're like, oh, it was so good. Oh.
Well, to quote Motel Hell, meat's meat and a man's got to eat.
Yep. It's Barbara Vincent's meat.
Any questions yet from our audience? Our newbies? All right. So, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh. Okay, we'll just go with no, but didn't even write it down. I was thought about it. No. Like, shiny thing over there. I blame you. Okay, so, do you have any, like, dream locations that seem so unattainable you don't think you're ever going to get to visit, but you just want to?
No.
No, everything's possible?
Honestly, this is going to sound incredibly insanely unrealistic, but all of my dream locations, honestly, I've already visited. And yeah, no, seriously, like everything that I've ever really
What do you
like.
think, Kev? What do you
What
think?
do you think? I feel like this works better if I do this. I feel like a rock
Yeah,
star.
I feel like if you get to position it a little better.
Sorry.
I think all of our dream locations happen to be places that are not off limits. So we haven't made it yet to Dracula's Castle. So Vlad the Impaler's actual castle, because now with tourism, people are starting to open up a lot of these places because he's building and making money. Tourism is the best way to do that. So that's one of my biggest dream places to go, and it's happily open for tourism. So I can't think of anything where it's like, oh yeah, this is the main place, but no, go there.
I feel like
Chernobyl?
chicken. Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
So I operate under the assumption that if I were to die right now, what a life I've lived. Like, I've seen more things than most people see in a lifetime. You know, we went on these different adventures. We've accomplished something with YouTube that most people dream about, and we still have a lot to do, a lot to go. Like, where we are right now is not where I see it. Where I see the Grimm life in 20 years. Like, I'm thinking so far into the future. With that being said, like, if it all ended right now, I'm not going to be sad about a place that I didn't get to see. Does that make sense? But
Like you said, if I heard people take a shot. Yeah. What did you just say? What are your good phrases?
I don't know. Well, like, knowing that there's a tomorrow and that there's the day after that, I make plans. There's things that I want to see, like Dracula's Castle, or I have this. I do have a dream. I have this crazy adventure in Germany that I want to do, and we'll talk about it here. This is kind of a cool place.
We are doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
so the Grimm Life Collective. What's in the name? The word Grimm. What other storytellers? The group of Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, it's fairy tales, the real gateway of horror for us all, right?
Yeah. So one of the biggest projects that we are planning in our lives is hopefully next year. Screw it, it will be next year. Our plan is to go to Germany and visit every single Brothers Grimm location that they ever wrote about, and try to bring their stories to a new generation. Not like Disney, not like this and that, but like the actual blood-curdling Brothers Grimm tales. And we've already started the ball rolling on it. That our contacts in Germany, there's a museum that has an original manuscript of the Brothers Grimm, and they're letting us read through it on camera. We have to wear gloves and flip through it and stuff. So it's happening. And it's just, to me, that's like one of the coolest things, where to bring a new generation to the actual stories as like the Grimm life and Brothers Grimm.
It's like handling the crown jewel.
Right.
No one ever gets to do that.
A lot of stuff happening.
Exciting! And speaking of a lot of stuff coming, I am terribly addicted to your live stream watch parties. So addicted. I can't always attend because I work nights now. But if I'm off, I'm like, yay!
They're fun.
They're so fun.
They are. We've been doing them for quite some time. Has anybody here done a Grimm Up All Night watch party? Are you mad that we don't play the movie during the actual live? Right?
What it feels like to me,
It's so
funny when the trolls are like, you're not going to watch the movie. It feels like you have a bunch of people over to your house, you put on a movie, and then you talk to the whole movie.
So the way that it started we loosely called it a watch party, that just to give people something to do or to have a topic of conversation, not to actually watch the movie live, but it was just a way for us to meet you guys and talk to people who are, because it was during Christmas, who are having a hard time because depression is extremely high during the holidays. And we were just like, we get kind of lonely too. Maybe we could just do a live chat where we can just feel like we're not so alone.
Yeah. Mental health. I get so excited when you and I have fun and I can actually watch something. Yay! Know what I'm doing on Sunday night or whatever.
We should be doing one very soon.
Yeah.
Within the next week, we haven't announced it
It
yet.
feels like it's been a while, but maybe that's just because I've been so busy I haven't been online very much.
We haven't had one in a long time because we're staying in hotels and the internet's always very good.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Aww.
Now we
All right, one final question before I let you guys go. Your Silent Hill video.
my shoes did not melt. People point that out, I was like, oh my god. Oh. In case you're wondering, yes, my toes are out, even though it's snowing. I've been wearing sandals for most of this trip because I can't help myself. They're gonna go back to
Well, you are inside, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause I wore
Remove your shoes!
I always think it's funny that the first thing people tend to comment about on that video is, oh my god, why is she wearing flip flops? She's gonna burn her feet. My shoes did not melt at all, not even a little tinge. There.
Silent Hill or Centralia? Centralia, different video. Silent Hill, same
But
thing.
it's the same thing. Oh, I see.
Different, yes.
We
Centralia.
went to real town.
Centralia is the town in Pennsylvania where a mine fire started underground in like the 50s and it's still
Where
burning.
she got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's what Fenton Hill's based off of.
kind of. It's very reminiscent. But yeah, we did do Silent Hill film locations. And the thing about that stands out to me is it always amazes me whenever people who live in the town that these movies are made have no idea that they were made there.
Really?
Yeah. Like the church, the Masonic church that, you see Pyramid Head walking up and people are like, oh my God, I pass that every day. I had no idea. That's cool to me. She found it funny.
We were almost able to get in there. I don't think they filmed inside, but they had to be filming another movie inside while we were there, and it was a Christmas movie. Yeah.
It was a Christmas or a Christmas horror?
Christmas. Yeah, like a Lifetime television Christmas movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was all art made. So, yeah. I love Christmas movies, especially the horror kind, but I also love the Hallmark ones. It's weird, right? I have a big box of Christmas movies full of the classics, the horror, Christmas, and Hallmark, all DVDs. And so I have something for everyone.
I don't do chick flicks, like hardly ever, but there's something about a cheesy Hallmark holiday movie where you're just kind of like,
Yes, it's just popcorn fun.
He's like, he's frightened.
All right, guys, our time is about up. Do you have any more audience questions before I let them go? Going once, going twice? No? All right, thank you guys. Give it up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And happy Halloween.
That's not talking to me. He's back there listening. Come on down there.
It's coming my way, but I'm not over hard luck. Is that it? Stay till I say that people laugh. Say I'm mad, I say no, but if you reason I just say you love never stays a day. My bad is always coming my way.
Dangerous game, but
They call me a calamity man. I'm trying as hard as I can to keep a bad love away from
and thank you guys. It's so good to see you too. I'm so happy. My hair is like But I'm like, I always know my places, so I got time to rest. That would have been funny. Yes. You never noticed before? I always wear my pink Converse. Some trolls online are so funny. They're like, don't you own another pair of shoes? No, they're like, don't you own another pair of pants? And they're like, so basic. And I'm like, they're like, why wear a costume? And I'm like, it's not about me, it's about them. Anyway, it's the same person. And it's a guy. And I'm like, you are way too concerned with my trousers. He's like, let's go another pair. I'm like, you are way too concerned with my trousers.